Normally I don't really spend much time watching teenage films or films with teenagers as protagonists, at least unless I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's just not my cup of tea. However, I love Candace Cameron, and when I had the opportunity to watch No One Would Tell, which was a 1996 film, I thought I'd give it a go. And it turns out that although this stars a teenage cast, it's actually so much darker than pretty much any teenage film that I have seen. It's rated 15, which I think is pretty reasonable. Directed by Noel Nosseck and written by Stephen Loring. And the description from IMDb is as follows. A shy high school student's seemingly perfect relationship with a popular jock quickly turns abusive and dangerous. I don't want to give too much away because this is a brutal, brutal film. It's very violent. It's aggressive. We have Fred Savage playing this character called Bobby, and he seems likeable, bit cheeky, but then things turn very dark very quickly with the way he treats Stacy Collins, played by Candace Cameron, and she finds herself trapped in this abusive relationship. And although some of her friends notice this, or suspect that things are not as rosy as they seem, she still loves him and refuses to leave him, but also she's scared to leave him. And it's really interesting that this is done in the backdrop of a high school, because usually a subject matter this intense would be done through a film directed at adults. Because, not exclusively, but obviously adults tend to be in relationships more than teenagers. But I like the fact that it's targeted as teenagers, because teens can be in abusive relationships, particularly when hormones are all over the place and they haven't really had a relationship before. They don't know what true love should feel like. And I think for a lot of people watching this, particularly teenagers, it could be eye-opening, and it could make even just one person stop and think about their own relationship or that of their friends. And I'm not going to say that this film could save a life, but actually it could. Any film that deals with domestic violence could be eye-opening for even just one person. This is insane. It is so intense. It doesn't hold back. It's very brutal. And I cannot tell you what happens near the end or in the middle as much as I really, really want to. But I'll just say, don't let your guard down, because it's terrifying what happens. Not terrifying as in horror, but as in absolutely ridiculous that this could happen. And obviously it does happen. So it's a little bit emotional. Stacy's mother as well is a very good character. I think she's got a very strong role to play in this. She's not in it as much as she could be, but the role that she plays, particularly when she's absent, is a very fascinating one. I cannot really fault this film at all. That's not to say it's the most amazing film I've ever seen, but actually it's pretty brilliant. It's got a rating of 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb across just over 2,000 reviews, which is really respectable. I honestly didn't think it would have been as well received as it has been. I truly loved it. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I didn't expect it to be as realistic or as brutally honest as it was. No One Would Tell is a shocking film, and one that I think everybody has to watch.